Since ancient times, human beings all over the world have embarked on an astonishing and dangerous quest. It is a voyage into a land that even to this day remains unknown. A place of fantastic sights and sounds. A realm of sublime and terrifying creatures, where the laws of physics are ignored. It is a quest into the hidden mysteries of the human mind. The search for an altered state of consciousness, a sacred reality beyond what our senses can perceive.
People do, all over the world, ubiquitously in human culture, seek some means to get out of the everyday state of consciousness and reality. And that desire to do that is so common in the human experience that it almost has to be seen as part of the basic human appetite.
The quest for a world beyond our senses is one of the oldest and deepest yearnings of mankind. There is intriguing evidence that at the dawn of our earliest cultures, human beings were already experts at journeying beyond everyday consciousness. In southern France, the walls of limestone caverns are covered with magnificent paintings of long extinct animals, created by hunters of the old Stone Age some 25,000 years ago. But some cave paintings have defied interpretation. Deep within one cave, an enigmatic scene depicts a wounded bison and a mysterious human figure who lies on the ground, apparently in a trance. Some scholars believe this painting may be the earliest portrait of the first human beings to experiment with altered consciousness. The mysterious figures known as shamans.
They are the mediators between this world and the other world, between the physical and the spiritual, if you will. They are the people who can actually project their spirit or their soul into another dimension.
How have the shamans and those who follow them made their perilous mind-bending journeys to the land of visions and gods? Over countless millennia, seekers have traveled many paths. Native Americans often induced visions by fasting in the wilderness or by torturing themselves in rites of pain. And in Africa, trance dancing is the favored way to liberate the mind from the limits of physical reality.
Africans say, you white people go to church and speak about God, but we dance in the temple and become God. The central quest of all human beings is to find some technique of ecstasy that allows them to alter their state of everyday consciousness.
Among the many ways we have sought a higher consciousness, one has always been the most potent and the most perilous of all. Over the centuries, human beings have ingested an amazing variety of mind-altering substances and have seen fantastic often terrifying visions of another world. Some scholars ask whether those visions could have played a role in the development of the world's great religions. The question is highly controversial, but in one ancient society, drugs and religion may have been deeply intertwined. Sometime around 1500 BC, India was invaded by tribes of nomads from the north. Today, we call these invaders the Aryans. Their sacred hymns, called the Vedas, were the mystical foundations of Hinduism. The ancient Vedas sing the praises of a mysterious, mind-altering substance called soma.
Like the wild winds, the draughts I have drunk have lifted me. Have I not drunk soma? The sky and earth are not equal even to one half of me. Have I not drunk soma? In my glory I eclipsed all heaven and earth. Have I not drunk soma? Rig Veda, Book 10.
They have a sense that if they enter one whit more into this, it would be like plugging a toaster into a power line, that the intensity of the vision, what was being held, would just be too much for a frail mortal frame, and one would just disintegrate.
What was this drug of astonishing power, so reverently described but never identified by the ancient Aryans who worshipped it?
This has been one of the great botanical and anthropological mysteries, because nobody has ever figured out with certainty what soma is. There were a lot of descriptions of it, that it was something that was squeezed from a plant. It certainly sounds as if it was a major visionary experience, and this was a central aspect of their religion.
We may never know whether the great religious traditions of India were inspired by the ancient ecstasies of the Soma cult. The Aryan sacred drug has disappeared into time's shadows. Some scholars believe that in the end, Soma's priests lost control of this extraordinary substance.
Soma was beginning to be used for recreational purposes, and its religious meaning was being eroded, and rather than have that happen to their revered plant god, they simply agreed to close the door on that chapter of their history.
Was Soma's power so awesome that a fearful ancient people banned its use forever? The question may remain unanswered. But Soma is only one example of the age-old use of mind-altering substances in our search for a higher reality. Next, we enter the altered states of the Greeks, the Romans, and the holy men of the Bible, and explore the possibility that even Jesus of Nazareth may have encountered a powerful drug. Archaeologists digging in the Near East have discovered residue in clay jars nearly 10,000 years old. The earliest known traces of the mind-altering substance we call wine. By 3000 BC, the Egyptians were downing countless jars of wine and brewing different brands of beer, giving them inspirational names like Heavenly and the Joy Bringer. At the same time in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians were so fond of beer that they devoted 40% of their annual grain harvest to brewing it. No proof exists that wine or any other drug helped inspire the prophets and patriarchs of the Bible. But some scholars have wondered if the peoples of the Bible used mind-altering substances as other ancient cultures did.
King Solomon in the Book of Kings goes to a high place and has a dream there where God gives him wisdom and advice and information and riches. Now, although we don't have any evidence of this in the Bible, we think it was probably very difficult for non-professionals to enter this trance-dreaming state. And so the speculation is that the priests who attended those dream sanctuaries probably passed out little drinks that would help ease you into a nice sleep that was filled with visions.
It is known that the Hebrews gave wine to the sick and the injured. They also gave more powerful drugs. Even in biblical times, physicians understood opium's unrivaled power to ease a sufferer's pain. There is even speculation that opium may have played a role in one of the Bible's most tragic events, the crucifixion of Jesus of Nazareth.
And when they came to a place called Golgotha, they offered him wine to drink mingled with gall, but when he tasted it, he would not drink it. Matthew 27:45.
The word gall there, some have taken to mean opium. Whether it was opium or not, it's clear that what is probably going on here is the attempt to give Jesus a powerful drug that will ease his pain.
Beyond the Bible, there are hints that other ancient peoples altered their consciousness. Among them, the classical Greeks, who created a brilliant civilization revered to this day as a triumph of the rational mind. But there is evidence that the ancient world's greatest thinkers also journeyed to the mind's darker side, the mystical world of spirits and visions. Near Athens lies the city of Eleusis. In ancient times, it was the center of secret rites of the goddess Demeter, a mysterious cult which offered glimpses of immortality, whose rituals, even today, remain unknown. These Eleusinian mysteries were once famed throughout the Greek and Roman world.
The climax of it came in the drinking of a sacred potion, and that those who emerged from that initiation rite were profoundly changed in their outlook.
What was the unknown substance consumed in the secret rites of Eleusis, which brought on dazzling visions of eternity? An ancient text says that it was a special wine made from barley. Could mere wine be the source of such remarkable visions? Scholars believe that barley could induce visions. The fungus ergot, which grows on barley, evokes powerful hallucinations in those who eat it. During the Middle Ages, whole villages went temporarily insane from eating ergot-infected bread.
I side with those who say that the central sacrament in the Eleusinian mystery was a psychedelic substance. By the way, that is one of history's best kept secrets.
In the 5th century AD, a new religion, Christianity, outlawed the mysteries of Eleusis. But the sacred use of wine survived.